And when you tie them all together, bam, you got self-advocacy. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Andrea. This is the Daily Dyslexic. It is so great to see you. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returner, it's so great to see you again. As you know, my name's Andrea and I have dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyspraxia, and ADHD. And today we're going to be talking about self-advocacy and what self-advocacy is, because it's kind of complicated, but it is so important, and I absolutely love self-advocacy. I am so passionate about self-advocacy. So self-advocacy means representing yourself, your needs, and your views. So that means you're explaining what you need in life, how you feel about something, and you're really taking ownership of your experience in life. So we're going to break it down into the 3 steps of self-advocacy. First, knowing yourself. Second, knowing your needs. And third, communication. So let's jump in to our first point, knowing yourself. And no, I don't mean that you know that you love chocolate, because you do, or you know that you really like the color blue. I mean really knowing how you think, how your brain works, and how that's going on in relation to life. For example, I have ADHD. So I know that when I'm taking in information, I'm noticing everything that's going on around me. Let me tell you, someone's moving in next door, and I am totally aware of every noise that's happening. And there was just a mail truck, and I was very distracted by it, and I saw all of that while I was talking to you at once. So that's something I'm aware of. I take in all the stimuluses around me, and sometimes I have trouble sorting out which one is the right one to be focused on. That's something I know about myself. Now, in the classroom, that means I have certain needs, and we'll get into that in a second. But knowing yourself is also knowing what your strengths are, what you're good at. So, for example, I have very good verbal communication skills. That's something I know that I excel at. But sometimes I have trouble expressing my knowledge on tests. So that written format is something that's a challenge for me. So that's really a key importance to know what your strengths are, because when you look at your strengths, you can find how you will get over your challenges. So when you know your challenges, for me, reading out loud, test taking, bubble, answer multiple choice questions, I get them so mixed up. So I know what my challenges are, and that helps me because I know my strengths already and I can look at how I use my strengths. So our second piece is knowing what you need. Knowing what you need to help you. Knowing what your accommodations should be to help you overcome those challenges that you already know you have. So let's talk about 2 of my challenges that we know that I have. So the first, super distracted by everything that's going on because I can't filter it out. Now, an accommodation for that, a need would be to sit in the front of the classroom so I'm not distracted by everything that's going on around me. So in elementary, middle school, and high school, a lot of the time I sat in the front of the classroom because I needed to express that need to my teacher to help me be successful. Hey, everyone wants success. So I would move to the front of the classroom. But I also had other areas that I knew what I needed. So for example, reading out loud. I knew that I needed to not be called on to read out loud. That is not where I'm going to be successful. I knew that I needed to have what I was supposed to read out loud emailed me the day before so I could memorize it and recite it like a monologue in a play. I knew that that's what I needed to be successful. Or to have someone skip over me for reading out loud. I was never upset if you didn't call on me to read out loud. Also, for example, I knew that I have trouble reading just visually, and so I use audiobooks. So knowing what my challenges were, what my strengths were, I could combine them all to self-advocate, which is super powerful. The last piece we have is communication. So this means delivering all of this information we've gathered about ourselves, our knowing of the need, and expressing it to who can help us. So for example, my needing to be in the front of the class is something I would advocate to a teacher. So that means finding a time when I can talk to the teacher, being able to look at her and say, "Hi, Mrs. Pendulum, can I talk to you after class? Or can I talk to you at lunch?" Hopefully finding a time where it's just you and her, because that might be easier. And then politely communicating, knowing how to get from point A to point B. So when I go in, I look and I say, "Hi, Miss Pendulum, I know that I have ADHD and I'm focusing on everything that's going on around me instead of just you talking. I also know that I need to sit in front of the classroom. That's what's going to help me not be distracted. Do you think you and I can work to make that possible? Is there a way that you could help move the seating chart and I'll move all the stuff from my desk and I can sit in the front? So making sure that it's collaborative, that you're including who you're advocating to in the plan. You're communicating effectively, kindly, and well informed. So once you add all of those pieces together, you have self-advocacy. And these are pieces that I actually gathered from an understood.com article that I'll link down below. Understood is a great resource, and I recommend checking it out. So let's summarize. Self-advocacy is expressing your needs, your views, your opinions, and it's got 3 really important parts. Knowing yourself, knowing what you need, and communicating. And when you tie them all together, bam, you got self-advocacy. And next week, I'm actually going to be doing a video on how I self-advocate and how to self-advocate. This is a kind of training I created that I found really helpful, and some of the people that I've taught it to have also found it really helpful. So you can look forward to how to advocate now that you know what advocacy is. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please don't forget to subscribe. I put out content every Monday and Friday. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can turn on post notifications to be notified every time I post. If you have any questions, any topics you'd like me to cover, feel free to leave them down below, but you can also send an anonymous email to my email, and I won't put any of your information if you don't want that. If you do want your name included, please put how to phonetically pronounce it, because I have dyslexia and I so struggle, but I want to say your name correctly. Have a great day. Don't forget, you are awesome, and I will see you Friday for a fidget review. Goodbye now.